Y'all ask me why my bread pudding is so good? This is why it's so good.
What if I told you that the number one problem with chronic illness in the United States is the amount of sugar that people are eating? I'm Rosemarie Havsom. I'm back again to let you know that you can take full control of your life, but what you choose to put at the end of your fork. The problem that most Americans have when it comes to their health is the amount of sugar that they're having every day, because we only have a certain amount of blood volume that can accept and work with sugar in our everyday lives. So let me break it down for you. So our body, it holds about 1.2 to 1.6 gallons of blood, and that makes up about 7 to 8% of our total body weight. So that's what's going on with our body to get the nutrients to where it needs to go, to get fresh blood supply to all of our extremities, our brain, and our internal organs, and to get oxygen to all of those areas as well. This is a very delicate system that can easily be upset and destroyed by the amount of sugar that we're eating.
This is the amount of blood in your body. This is the amount of sugar your bloodstream can handle at any given time. And this is the amount of sugar the average American eats every single day. Sugar in the brain is called dementia. Sugar in the pancreas and bloodstream is called type 2 diabetes. Sugar in the skin is called aging. Sugar in the liver is fatty liver disease. Sugar in the heart is cardiovascular disease. And sugar in the kidneys is kidney failure. Friends, your body isn't the problem. The overload is. Balance your blood sugar and you can change the entire story.
Black Americans have a sugar problem. We love our sugar to the point where we have almost 2 times the incidence of chronic illness than our white counterparts. So that means twice as many Black Americans are going to be suffering with obesity than their white counterparts. We're going to have twice as many Black Americans suffering from type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure than their white counterparts. This is a problem because it goes into all areas of society and it goes into all generations when it comes to Black Americans, because these are no longer just adult onset chronic illnesses. These are now affecting our children at younger and younger ages, which is setting them up for a life of illness, poor health outcomes, and even early death. This is the generation that we're looking at where parents are going to be burying their children and grandchildren before their time. This is the group that has the shortest lifespan in all of humanity. And this is in a world where we are technologically advanced, where there are so many medical advances and just general environmental advances that we should take advantage of. But unfortunately, the recipe has come together where Black children and Black people in general are suffering needlessly from sugar-related illnesses. So you don't believe me? Take a look at any holiday season. What do we see coming up? We see sugar on just about everything. Now, I'm not trying to take away your joy because I believe that people should enjoy their holidays, whether you celebrate them or not. Whatever the family gathering is, you should be able to enjoy it. The problem is that we just seem to go overboard when it comes to sugar, because not only are we adding sugar to our everyday lives, but there's so much added sugar in all of the foods that we seem to love as well. We can't eat sweet potatoes without throwing a ton of sugar on it. And as you saw in the clip, apparently people can't eat bread pudding without a bucket load of sugar. Now keep in mind, for the average adult, do you know how much sugar they're supposed to have each day? It's recommended that they have no more than 50 grams, 50 grams, which is equal to about 12 teaspoons of sugar. Now, some health officials say that that is too high and that we should cut that in half to 25 grams of sugar, which is equal to 6 teaspoons of sugar. And that is what's recommended for women. For men, it's 36 grams, which is 9 teaspoons of sugar. And for children, much less than that. Of course, no one is following that. just given any of the comfort foods that people like, especially desserts, and even in savory foods. If you know how much sugar has been added to get you to eat that, you would be amazed. No one's trying to take away the joy of holiday season, but we are saying, why not try to eat a little bit more of healthy foods and then have a treat? There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we're gathered together to enjoy family and to enjoy food, and food needs to taste good. It speaks to a primal need that human beings have with that amygdala part of our brain that only knows things that are basic and at the core being of who we are as human beings. Now, that is what people like to call like the primitive side of the brain, but that is where issues like food and temper and fears and fight and flight, all of that is lodged in the amygdala part of the brain. But the frontal lobe of the brain, the frontal cortex of the brain, is what is negatively affected by sugar. It completely clouds how you think. And dementia is something that is growing and growing in our society more and more. And we're seeing it more in the Black communities of the United States more than ever before. And it is definitely a link to the food that people are eating. What can we do about it? We've got to do a lot more, and that is we need to move our bodies, exercise, drink water, and also watch our sugar intake. Once in a while, treat is fine, but ongoing every single day is not. And that's why cutting back from ultra processed foods is step number one, because a lot of the ultra processed foods, whether they're sweet or savory, have a lot of added sugar and a lot of high fructose corn syrup, which is incredibly inflammatory for our bodies, which then starts the whole process of developing chronic illnesses. So what can you do? Learn to eat in moderation. That's something that people don't seem to want to do anymore. We can't always be indulgent. And especially as we get older, once you cross the threshold of 35 and 40 as a Black American, there are certain foods that your body can no longer tolerate, especially when it comes to high levels of added sugar and what that is doing to your blood flow. It's slowing everything down. It's causing things like high blood pressure as well. Doctors don't always tell you that, but sugar is at the base of so many chronic illnesses that if we could just look at alternate ways of enjoying things that are sweetened, then we could live a better life. And that's why in nature, when you look at sweet things in nature, like naturally sweetened fruits, which is fructose, but in its component as a fruit, you're getting the fiber, you're getting the sweetness, and you're getting the fluids so that you have a mixture of things when you're eating a raw fruit. Same thing for vegetables. You're getting all parts. You're getting the fiber, you're getting the liquid, you're getting the phytonutrients. You're getting all of that because it's what the body needs. What do you think? Do you think that sugar is one of the number one problems in the Black community, in Black America? Comment it down below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And remember that I too have a YouTube channel that's Havsom, spelled H-A-V for Victor, S-O-M for Mother, where you can ask your health questions there. I'm Rosemarie Havsom. We'll see you next time. Bye.